Hey Grandpa, have you done a lot of traveling in your life?
Yes, been all over the world.
Why'd you travel?
Business reasons.
Hmm. So, what kind of places did you travel to?
Oh, Australia, Germany, England, Poland, Spain.
Were you ever treated differently because you were American?
No.
Just,
Other than being in places that didn't speak any English at all, where you couldn't communicate with the people.
so they treated you really differently because you couldn't really communicate with them at all?
I guess you could call it different, but they didn't look down on you or do anything. It's just that they wanted to communicate, but they couldn't because they couldn't speak English.
Or you couldn't speak that, or you couldn't speak their language. Yep.
This kind of thing.
Okay. Have you ever been like discriminated against because of any of your basic personality traits or anything like that?
Oh, I don't know. You always get discriminated against because of upper management versus a worker type of thing. Upper management always feels like they're better than the average person.
Yeah. So they basically said, like, you think you're better than us, even if you didn't think you were better than them?
Yeah, right.
Oh. But were you ever discriminated, have you ever been, like, discriminated against because you were older than somebody or something like that?
Well, when I got laid off when I was 50 years old, I'm sure I was discriminated against there. It was very hard to find another job because of my age. They would come out and say you're too old, but, you know, they could tell your age from your resume, so
So at least they were upfront about it.
No, they just didn't want to talk to you. You know, they just refused.
So they didn't even really tell you out front why they didn't want to talk to you. They just said, we don't want to talk to you. We don't want you working for us. You're too old. Do you think you were too old?
No, that had nothing to do with it. But it was just that the philosophy at the time, they were looking for younger people or something like this.
The younger, up and coming instead of the older. Okay. What do you think about, like, how the world's doing right now?
Well, I don't know. I guess in trouble, it needs a lot of work.
Do you think differently than a lot of other people?
Well, probably more informed than some people. I don't keep up with the news and this and
Yeah.
so keep more informed than a lot of people might.
Maybe you said a lot more opinions than a lot of other people?
Yeah, well, my opinions, I usually let things just sort of slide because at my age I don't have to worry about it too much.
Yeah. So you let your age kind of get to you and, like, how you view the world, like, I'll die before this kind of turns out, or...
Right. Yeah, before they solve these problems.
Yep. So you don't have a lot of faith in the younger, up-and-coming generation.
Not unless they can get together and quit arguing. Congress is the biggest complaint right now, where the senators, Republicans, Democrats can't even talk to each other anymore. I think there's a big problem there where they're wasting a lot of time arguing over things that they could just sit down and agree on.
Yeah. Like, have you ever gotten into an argument with someone about that, and they've tried to use, like, your age to say, like, oh, you have no idea what you're talking about?
Not really.
You don't get in arguments a lot, or that just doesn't happen when you do?
I don't get in arguments that much now.
Yeah. Kind of settled down?
Yeah.
Do you think that's because you're getting older, or just because you're just...
Probably some age has something to do with it. You know, it's just... You just be that after a while, you know, you just get tired of fighting all these battles. And when you worked in the industry for many years, you know, after a while, you don't see things change. You know, you see good people laid off and bad people kept on board.
Yeah. Do you think they got kept on because they were younger, or just because they had it in with the management or something?
Probably in with management, more of the politics and that.
The politics of business.
Yeah. Went along with the management's philosophies rather than with what they felt themselves.
Yeah. So you think younger people don't really show what they think as much? Or is that just because that's just the kind of people that they were, not really because of their age or anything?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you basically do when you just sit around? Do you just sit around, or are you very active?
Well, I do my woodworking, during the day and that, and watch movies at night from Reynolds, and
Yeah.
keep up with the news. I
Yeah.
love to watch news all the time.
Has anybody ever treated you differently because of like what you do all day?
I don't think so. I don't know if anybody would.
Yeah. Nobody said like you're lucky you're old.
No.
Not really. Just kind of treat you the same as everybody else.
Yeah, right.
Do you get a lot of respect amongst people because of like what you do or your age or
I
anything?
think so. I think you get some respect because, first of all, your age or what you do too.
Thank you.